Hey everyone, Trina here, back with another mixed media art video. Today we're going to start off with an image transfer of another Polaroid tree image. I just laid down some hand sanitizer and I'm rolling out with my brayer, going back in with the bone folder to make sure that we got good contact, and it turned out pretty well. So a lot of people have been asking if we can reuse these little sheets, so I've tried another pull of this transfer, and we did get a pretty decent ghost image. Although I did forget to put more sanitizer down, but this was just what's left on the paper, and you can see that it did kind of work. So now I'm putting down some glue stick on a piece of copy paper, and then I've got a sheet of tissue paper on the back here. I'm going to run this through my printer so I can print off a texture piece of collage so we can do some collaging. So here's the paper. I couldn't find my X-Acto knife, so I'm just using the blade. This is what it looks like when we take it off the copy paper. Just cut it right off. And then we have this really cool sheet of collage paper. So I'm going back in with my knife because I did find my handle. And I'm just going to cut up this a little bit to apply over some sections of this print that we're working on. I really like this technique. I think it's a pretty cool way to get textures onto your pieces. This is some textures that I bought a million years ago, so I can put the link in the bio. I'm not sure that the person even still sells these because I bought them like 10 years ago, but they're just digital, just digital paintings almost of textures. They're actually pretty cool. I have like probably 70 of them. I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to digital imagery, so I figured I should use some of that imagery. Just putting these down with some gel medium. Coming back in with my Derwent Onyx to add some marks through here. Of course, I did dry this before I went back in with this because we must dry between layers. Very important. And then I'm going to come in with some water here. And we're going to lay down some of my Payne's Gray acrylic ink that I mixed up using ultramarine and black. It's one of my favorite colors, and I really love the wet on wet technique especially with this arch paper that I'm working on. Coming back in with the color shaper, adding in some marks and kind of just spreading out. I like to use the color shaper because it tends to make things a little bit more soft and a little bit more unified, maybe. Coming back in with a palette knife, and we're just going to go back in and make some marks because you guys know how much I love my marks, and I love making these scratchy marks with the ink. And also do it with watercolor because it adds texture and movement to the piece, and so it's not so just static colors on the page. And it also is going to allow me to blend in those collage pieces just a little bit more. So as I'm working on this, I've noticed that it's very blue, green, and brown, and it's pretty bland as far as color goes, so we're going to add in some more brown. So here I'm in with the sepia. I just kind of want to make some marks through here to, again, I've been thinking about Polaroid transfers and how the chemicals spill over the sides of paper, and I really like that imagery, so I'm adding in some sepia to kind of bring that color in and also bring those collage pieces together so they just don't look so stuck on. I like the acrylic ink too because it's somewhat transparent and you can still see the layers below. So now I'm coming in with the Kuretake Art Deco set. This is a sort of a robin's egg blue. Again, the chemicals in the Polaroid transfers are spilling out. So I wanted to include this blue to kind of give it more depth and more color, adding in just another layer of variety and contrast. I've been watching Louise Fletcher, just had a new video that came out. I'll put a link to that above, where she talks about contrast in color, contrast in shapes, contrast in line, and how that adds dynamic flair into your work. So I've been thinking about that as I'm making this piece. I'm going to come back in with this little reddish brown color as well, just to add in a bit more tone and a bit more variety to the marks. We don't want to get stagnant with our marks, and I like the way that it interacts with that blue. I think it's a nice combo. And I'm coming in with a Nico Azo Gold because I want some really bright orange through here. And you guys know how much I love this color, and I think it just adds everything. I love how it's interacting with that blue at the bottom and kind of gives you these sort of rusty tones, sort of grungy, rusty vibes. I'm going to go in again because I want more of that color, more of that contrast. I love this color. It's so transparent and it just glazes everything. It makes it just so, it makes everything come to life. I just love it. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the Nico Azo here on the side to kind of bring together this whole entire shape and bring more of that color down through the bottom. Coming in with a stencil and some Mars Black. This is a square stencil. I just wanted to add some texture on top of these colors. And I have sped this up just a little bit because I know it's boring watching me make stencils. So we're trying to make this more efficient. I added a little bit more up there for a little bit more of a line. And coming in with our ladder stencil to add some texture here to this area as well. You can see that that looks really cool. This is a new color for me. I just bought it today. It's Parchment by Liquitex. Another thing that Louise Fletcher talks about is knocking back areas by using a transparent color in white or something like that. So this is sort of a greenish white, I guess. But you can see it's really knocking back all of the colors and giving you a lot more depth. So you'll see it better here when I'm putting it up here at the top. You can still see the layers, but it's just giving it a little bit of pushing it back into the background. So everything's just not on the same level, because you want people to move through your work and not just stay on one plane. Here I am going in with my lovely ink tints in the Payne's Gray. I'm going to make some marks through here. I always like doing this just because I think you need a few dynamic, actually, pencil marks going through work. It's just something that I like to do. Here I'm going to go back in and add a few more lines, like little ladder marks. And then I'm going to add in some solid areas, more scribbles over here to the side. And I use these wet because I like the effect. I think they flow better when they're wet than they do when they're dry. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Okay, things that I like. I love this part right here. I like the big bold black marks. I like this sort of color that we got going down here with the rust and the blue. I think this whole section is really nice. I love the transparencies and how you can kind of see a little bit of the image transfer and, well, not so much of the collage, but that's okay. But overall, I think it's really good. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go over here for to see the last video, and I will see you very soon with another video. Thanks so much. Bye.